Sup, bitches? I'm back.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Adult Pending. And I am returning for my first episode here since we've rebranded. And look who I have with me for all of our YouTube watchers. Julianna is also back, if any of you remember her from when we had the NFA network. So she's back to kind of hang out with me for the night, and we're going to bring you through a pretty cool episode, if I do say so myself. This topic came up while we were talking about Julianna's dating history because she's in her 30s and dating right now, and it's rough. It's fucking rough in these streets. So we're going to be talking about ghosting and when it is and is not appropriate. As you can see, we are dressed in a little bit of a theme here. And for our Spotify listeners and what's the other one? Apple? Is that Apple Music? Yeah, I think so. Spotify and Apple Music. I don't remember where all this gets released. But for any of you not watching on YouTube but listening, I am dressed all in red with little devil horns and cool devil heart sunglasses. And Ju's over here dressed like a little angel because we're going to be the angel and devil on your shoulder about this ghosting topic. Because I'm full pro ghost. Like, I don't give a shit. You do not have, just because you have my number, just because you have my socials, that does not give you full access to me. Like, I don't owe you my time. So, if I don't want to respond to you, I'm not going to fucking respond to you. And Ju's a nice person.
I have a guilty conscience, so I'm going to let you know that, it's just not working out. I might make something up if I'm not feeling you, or, I'm going to save your feelings for sure. But I'm going to let you know. I'm going to let you know because it's the nice thing to do.
Yeah, like I said, Ju's a good person. I, on the other hand, like I said, just because you have access doesn't mean you have access, if that makes sense.
It costs $0 to just be fucking considerate.
But it might cost me my mental health. Which, by the way, is getting expensive.
Listen, me telling you that I just don't like you is a valid enough reason for me to not continue talking to you.
But I don't like confrontation.
It's not confrontation. You're just letting them know, like, hey, I just don't feel a spark. Thank you so much. You've been cool. Have a great day.
That sounds confrontational to me. All that being said, that leads us into our first segment, and that is why we ghost and how that applies to the millennial exit strategy. So I personally ghost out of anxiety, burnout, and overstimulation. It's never because there's I can't say never because sometimes my patience be getting tried. But for the most part, if I'm ghosting, it's not a you problem, it's a me problem. And I'm just legitimately too burnt out to open my phone or even acknowledge that there is an existence outside of my own asshole. So that's just how I deal.
Okay.
So what do you feel, or how do you feel on that topic? Do you ever feel like you just get so overloaded with just everything that you have to take a break?
No, I totally understand. I don't like to ghost, but more recently, something sort of like that happened where he had a lot going on and I had a lot going on, and we were like, all right, well, we'll talk later on. And then I was supposed to send him a message, but because I had so much going on, I had my social battery was so low, and days started to go by. And then at some point I was like, should I, now I feel like it's weird. And I was like, I'll just wait until he reaches out. And not to mention, too, I feel like as the girl, I shouldn't have to reach out. I don't know. Maybe not that. Maybe not that I shouldn't have to, but I want somebody who chases me. So, just if you're going to ghost me, you're going to ghost me, and that's totally fine. I don't mind being ghosted. But, if you're not going to ghost me, just let me know. Hey, just strike up a conversation, which is what he did. So that ended up going to more. But yeah, he was just what was it? I think he had messaged me like around my birthday, and I was like, I'll let you know in like a week. And then like a month went by, and then he was like, that was a really long week. And I was like, uh, yeah, it was. He's like, so you want to hang out? I was like, sure. It's like, okay.
Honestly, though, that was a pretty decent save on his side.
Yeah, no.
That was smooth as fuck.
That's what I said. I was like, no, that was really smooth. That was really smooth. Like, I like how you brought that up. Like, it was funny. And I was interested in like going on another date with him. And it was after like the first date. So it was like a month later or whatever. But yeah, I was like, that was really smooth of you. Like, I appreciate the effort. Like, okay, cool. Let's do it. Like, let's see where this goes.
So basically, what I'm hearing is Ju accidentally ghosts and then still expects you to come after her. So you have to annoy her to get her attention, which is fine.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. So, like, if I end up ghosting you, it's not because I meant to. So, like, definitely reach out. Like, give me a little, it's like chase me a little bit. That's kind of what I want. If I'm interested in you, chase me. If I'm not interested in you, I'm going to let you know right off the bat. Like, hey, you know, I'm just not a fan, or there was no spark, or like, there's just too much going on for me right now.
The ultimate go-to.
I just have decided randomly that I'm just going to stay single because I just can't do this. I do enjoy being single though. So that would be like a very valid response from me. Like, I'm sorry. This is just a lot of effort for me right now and I'm not in the fucking mood.
Honestly, though,
Sorry.
that's a vibe. And I kind of appreciate it, to be frank.
Yeah, like you're really cool. The problem isn't even you. We had a good time. I appreciate it and all, but honestly, this just feels like it's gonna be a lot of effort. And I don't have the mental capacity for it right now.
I think that leads us right into our next part of this segment, which discusses the blurred lines between taking space and disappearing, which I think kind of ties into both of our answers to the previous question, because a lot of the times I'm just trying to take space for my own mental health and my own well-being. So it's not nowadays, it's not necessarily ghosting. I'm just trying to take space. And it sounds like that's kind of what you do to a certain extent. You're just black cat energy and expect people to follow you everywhere you go.
Yeah. Yeah. I would like that. I don't know. I've never had a guy chase me before. I've always been the one to chase. I always get overexcited. You know, that's just how I've always been. And honestly, it's gotten me nowhere. So now, yeah, I would like somebody to like chase me a little bit, make me feel special. Like, yeah.
As they should.
Right. Like,
As they should.
I would like to know what that feels like. This is my current experiment. This is what we're trying out. So the fact that I'm still single obviously shows that no one's chasing, and that's all right.
No, they're just not the right ones.
Well, not to mention either. I did take a break from like what's it called?
You did. You were off of all of the everythings for like 3-4 years.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, for the most part. I kind of like, I go in and out. And then every time I go in, I'm like, oh, fuck. I like start to see profiles. And I'm like,
Overwhelmed.
this sucks. Well, it's like, bro, why are you, honestly, and I volunteer for Tony's little experiment if he wants to use my information, my pictures to like scour dating sites and see what it's like out there. Because some guys, it's just like a list of the things they don't want. And like a lot of it is just so weird because it's like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like you're sitting here and you're so focused on the shit that you don't want. So you put it on your profile, but I know nothing about you.
This isn't Build a Bitch workshop.
Exactly. It's like, well, I'm that. So fuck me, I guess.
Swipe.
Right. Like,
Loser. That's what makes me special.
actually, I like that about me. You sound like a whiny bitch.
Next. So where do you think, back to the taking
Sorry.
space and go, you're fine.
Yeah. I know we got lost.
We're getting lost in the mayo again.
Yeah.
But where do you think kind of that line is? Like, where would you say the line between ghosting and just like taking time for you is? Is it intentional based, do you think? Or
I think that if you're gonna be taking space, just say that. Just say that. And if they continue to, like, if they're really persistent and they're not giving you that space, then it's okay to ghost them. You know what I mean? It's like, I've literally told you twice that I don't want to do this. And you're like, but why? But why? But why? And then it's like, okay, so you're not respecting my feelings. You're not respecting my space. So yeah, I'm going to ghost you. Like, I've given you warnings. I've literally told you that I don't want to do this. And I understand like fighting for something, but then that all of that kind of depends on where you're at in that relationship.
No, and I agree 100%. And especially when you're like, for you specifically, you're really good about communicating your feelings. So if you really truly just need space, and because you're one to be like, hey, no, like, I just need a minute, like, I will get back to you. But then, like you said, if you have to say that again and again,
If you
you're already not respecting my boundaries. You're already writing's on the wall, folks.
Right, like, if you make me have to repeat myself more than 2 or 3 times, now I'm getting annoyed and irritated, and I'm not gonna be hurtful,
It's fucking principle at that point.
but you're gonna get ignored. I said what I had to say, so please leave me the fuck alone.
I didn't stutter. And honestly, no, that's valid. I think it's if they push that boundary, that's 100% valid to just ghost. And I think too, that really is the line between taking space and the ghosting, because it's the communication bit of it. If you're communicating like, hey, I just need some time to myself. I have a lot going on right now. And they respect it, that's cool. Like, and to your point earlier about being chased a little bit, if they follow up again, like give you a week just to, or even a couple days just to like take your time. That's just a couple days where you have a second to catch your breath. But even so, if they reach out and you're just like, hey, I still need some time, then the ball is in their court too to decide, is this worth pursuing, or am I just not going to work here? Now, key there is making sure you as a human being are following up and not ghosting at accident.
Yeah.
But I think that's just where the human error part comes into. But as
But
long as
even-
there's like open communication, I think it's really communication.
Right, but even if it's by accident, like, if you have time to scroll on Instagram, like, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna call all of you out. I'm about to call all you motherfuckers out, because I have friends that are single and they do get ghosted. I don't really get ghosted that much, I don't think. Not that I've noticed. Yeah, it's all been pretty, like, if I communicate, they communicate, is what I've noticed. But I'm about to call you all out. If you have time to scroll on Instagram and you have time to scroll on fucking Facebook, if you have time to play a game on your fucking phone, if you have time to sit on the fucking shitter and play Sudoku, you have time to shoot me a quick fucking text and just be like, hey, I'm not into this. Okay. Thank you. Have a great day.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Literally to 2 seconds. Like, come on, dude. Come on. Don't. If you have time to text your mom, good morning. Like, you have time to be like, hey, I'm not feeling you.
Do you really think people who ghost other people on purpose are texting their mother? Because I certainly am not.
That's true. That's true. If you have time, okay, whatever. If you have time to scroll fucking Instagram, because I know everybody does. Don't play me. If you have time to watch this fucking podcast, okay, you have time in between the rambling to shoot me a text and just be like, hey, I'm not feeling you. If they want to argue with you on that, then what the fuck? Like, then you can ghost them. Like, hey, I don't want to argue with you on this. I'm not looking for somebody to fight for me. Period, end of story. How is that confrontation?
Okay, but listen. So I actually have a story from back in the day where
Okay, tell me.
I tried to be a nice person because you told me to. And I was trying to do what you said, and granted, it was a messy situation to begin with. I'm going to say names, but only because it's a dumb common name and you all start with J's.
No, I think just pick a different Alvin.
No.
Okay. She said no. We're not covering up names.
I don't give a
Don't
fuck.
worry, guys. They'll cover names.
No, I won't. I won't use real names. So we'll go with Alvin. But no, it was like right after I got divorced. And I was messing around with this guy.
As soon as you said Jane name, I was like, oh, yeah.
It's probably not the one you're thinking.
Actually, a few of them.
They were all Jace. I have a thing for hurting myself. So I was messing with this guy, and I had no business messing with this man. It just was a recipe for disaster from the start. However, I was young, dumb, and I had just gotten divorced, and I was only by technicality not a virgin anymore. So, like, I was out hunting for dick. So anyway, I started hanging out with this guy, and of course, it's only literally the second guy I've ever hung out with in ever, because cult. So I didn't know what I was getting into, and I was trying to figure out how to tell this individual that I just wasn't into it. And then he lost his marbles. Do you know who it is now?
No, but what was I gonna say? Was it in person?
I tried to do it in person and over phone call. Multiple times I tried to tell this man I was not interested.
How long were you guys? I don't know.
It was only a few weeks. Literally a few
Okay.
weeks.
Okay.
This man got attached. He also, I think, had some brain issues. But that was on par for my dating history. So anywho, I tried multiple times to just tell this guy, like, hey, I'm not into it. He went out and he bought a puppy, which now that I'm thinking of it is actually 2 guys I know did that.
They're like, I heard you like dogs.
Want
to stay now?
He went out and got a puppy. He would not stop blowing up my phone. He was threatening to unalive himself. It turned into a whole thing. And I just ended up having to block him everywhere because I didn't know I didn't know how else to handle that situation. That was the first person in my life I ever ghosted. And then the cycle just started because after that I was terrified because guys hate rejection. And I was like an idiot and I don't like confrontation. So I would just ghost everyone I wasn't into because I didn't want to get the whole like, but why? But I don't understand. Just why won't you love me? I did all this for you. And I was just over it.
Yeah, no, that I understand. But I wasn't single in my 20s. I'm single now in my 30s.
That's valid.
So, the guys right now are a little bit more mature.
I suppose.
Not by much, but a little. And I mean, you got to know how to pick them, I feel like, or maybe I'm just lucky. Maybe I'm just lucky. I don't know.
I mean, that's valid.
I don't know. It could maybe I just know how to pick them.
Maybe you're just better at expressing your feelings than I am.
Maybe.
You're just better at wording things.
I kind of let them know from the jump, too. Well, I started to let them know from the jump.
I also pussyfoot around subjects because I hate confrontation. So I'd be like, hey, yeah, I kind of just I'm not feeling this. And then they think it's a game. I think, anyway.
No, I'm very much like, yeah, if I'm not feeling you, I'm not feeling you. I'll let you know. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you.
No shame in her game.
No, none at all.
So which do you think is worse, though? Getting, like, ghosted by a friend or ghosted by a guy?
Okay, so I feel, it's definitely worse getting ghosted by a friend because at least for me to consider you a friend, we have had to have like a long time.
A long-standing sort of relationship.
Yeah, like we have to have been friends for a while, and for you to randomly just ghost me, then that's weird. But I do have so I have a story about that one. There was this girl that I used to work with, and we ended up becoming friends, and she was really cool. She was that girl that reminded you of one of your sisters.
Yeah. Yes.
She was cool. She was a little like energetic. She had a lot of energy, which was cool. I liked her a lot. But then she decided that she wanted to leave the company, and her position was like the next position from mine. So she outright decided like, hey, I'm going to leave the company on her own terms. She wanted to do her own thing, and I was like, all right, cool. Like, I support it. You know what I mean? Like, we're friends. I think that's really great for you to go off and do bigger, better things. Um, and I even told her, I was like, all right, well, since you're going to be doing that, she put in her 2 weeks. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go for your position. So it'd be cool if you could train me. Well, she started to get really weird with the trainings. I ended up not getting like any trainings. And then there was one morning. So like for our position, we had to be in at 6 a.m. To do stuff. And uh I remember, so it's 6 a.m. I'm half asleep still, and we're sitting at the computer, and she's like, all right, approve payroll. And so I was like, okay, I kind of forgot where to go. So could you tell me where I should go? And then she starts yelling in my ear. The name of the thing is called like genies. So she starts screaming at the top of her lungs, genies, genies, genie, genie, at 6 in the morning. I have a lot of patience. I have a lot of patience. Let me tell you, I have a lot of patience. But if you are right here and you are screaming at the top of your lungs at 6 o'clock in the morning, I kid you not, I have a lot of patience, but man, do I get angry. Do I get angry, and do I get angry really quick? And I'm very good at checking myself, but there was a moment where my head snapped to like the side of her face, and in my brain I started scanning where I could punch her in the face, where it would maybe hurt less, or like what was a good spot to just knock her. And I was like shaking. I was holding my arms down and I'm looking at her face. And then my brain started going into, there's a camera right behind us that can see right into this office. If you do this, you're gonna get fired. My brain just started launching like all the shit. They're like, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, abort, abort. And I had to stop and turn, and I was like, I'm gonna need you to stop yelling. I was like, I need you to stop yelling, get the fuck out of my ear. And then I just put my hands down and I was like, just get out. And so she got out of the office and I had to like figure it all out myself. And so I figured it all out. And then after I like get to the team, and there's a moment where you have to kind of like tell the team what to do and where to go. So I'm standing up there and I'm like, all right, like, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. And then she goes, what am I going to do? I said, you're going to set up this thing on the other side of the store and do not talk to me for the entire day. And that's what I did. So I just sent her over there, and then she went out and she started talking to someone else on our team, and they were like giggling about how I reacted or whatever. I don't even care. I was so angry. And then I just decided, I was like, nope, we're done. We're done. Like, I do not tolerate any kind of disrespect. And after being disrespected by people in my past, I've gotten really, really good at just being like, snip, snip, snip. I don't deserve that.
Well,
I'm good with you.
also, that individual in particular, just they did a complete 180. And it was weird because, like, they were latched onto you at the hip for, like, a while. And, like, you guys did everything together. And then as soon as, all right, so from my perspective, they did everything together. Keep in mind, I'm just a jelly best friend. Yeah. I was just being a jelly bean. However, the comma. Like, it just kind of felt like she took you going for that job as such a betrayal to her, when it was literally like nothing. So I feel like, and she just was making your life miserable. I remember you calling me after she would like train you on something, and you're like, Ellie, you would never fucking believe. And it was just like, she was just rude, super rude,
Just so
for no
rude.
reason. And she was the nicest person ever. And just, why? I don't understand. Over a job that you were quitting.
Right.
That was justified ghosting, in my opinion.
There was nothing to do with any of us. So yeah, but I needed to ghost her because I didn't know how to put my feelings into words. So I did need a break from her. But she eventually just kept blowing me up. And then at some point I was like, you know what? Let me just, now that I've got more of a clear head, let me explain to you what you did wrong so that you can learn from it and you can grow from it and you can heal from it. But like way the fuck over there, because I can't do these types of people anymore. I cannot do people who disrespect me and then keep bringing them back into my life because it has not worked and it does not work for me. Like they don't change. They just end up taking more advantage of me and thinking that it's okay to go back to doing it because I let you back in. People take my kindness for like naiveness, I guess. It's like, no. Just because I'm kind doesn't mean that I won't fucking check a bitch.
No, and I don't even know if it's necessarily they think it's naivety. I think those type of people, because I went through not long, or was it before you guys had your friend breakup? I also had a little bit of a friend breakup. I say a little bit, but it was actually a lot of it. I ended like a
Yours was more intense than mine. Yours was for
only
longer
because
years.
it was like a 16-year friendship. And I kind of ghosted them, but it was just because that individual I definitely did not feel. I didn't fully ghost, so we had been having some friend issues and we were just either not understanding each other when we tried to communicate, or I would say something off that would piss her off. We're also both fire signs. So like when we're in a confrontation, the two of us, like we were toxic for each other, to be honest, when we both got angry.
We're both fire signs too. Though.
Yeah, but we're also level-headed individuals. Anyway. So the real reason I ended up like kind of ghosting on the friendship was because we had had our differences in the past and we had had disagreements in the past and we had had issues in the past. And because I really treasured this friendship, and because we had been friends for so long, I was always the one to like take ownership, like own my parts, like be like, all right, cool, let's hug, make up, and then move
Apologize when
forward.
you need to.
100%. Because I will always be the first person to be like, yo, I fucked up. Like, that's on me. But in this situation, I truly didn't feel like I did anything wrong. And I was irked as shit. So I was just like, no, like, isn't that worth my time at this point? I can sit here and try and keep explaining why I truly don't think I did anything wrong and still not understand from this person's point of view. Or I could save us both a headache and just remove myself from the equation. And so that's basically what I did. And it was the worst and it broke my heart, but like I didn't know what to do at that point in order to protect my own mental health, because that's the point where we were at in the friendship. And I was also going through some shit. She was going through some shit. Like I said, we were getting to the point where we were toxic for each other.
You both just weren't seeing eye to eye.
And that's, yeah, really where the juxtaposition is.
Yeah.
I think I used that in the right context. If I didn't, I'm sure the keyboard warriors would tell us in the comments. However, it was literally the worst. And I could have been ghosted by like 100 guys and it wouldn't have hurt as much as that hurt. Nobody prepares you for friend breakups. I'm just throwing that out there now. They just don't. Getting a divorce didn't hurt as much as losing that friend did.
No, for sure. I mean, me and her weren't friends for very long, but even that, like, I did really enjoy her company and I really liked her as a person and I thought she was absolutely adorable and, like, we had fun when we were together, but, like, there's a limit, babe. There's a limit. There's a line. Just because I make it seem like there's no line, there's a line.
Yeah. And I wish her no harm. I hope
Right.
she, like, is doing wonderful for herself and living her best life, because she truly is, at heart, a good person. It just, we couldn't be the way we were. Because I couldn't feel like I could keep getting stepped on in that friendship, which is how it was feeling.
Right. No, for sure.
And it was, yeah. It just sucked. Friend breakups suck the worst.
But you know what? as we grow and we learn and we get older, and I keep saying that, but like eventually maybe you guys can come back around and start to see eye to eye again. You know what I mean? It's never like for a friend ghosting or like a friendship ending. I don't think there's ever like it's not forever. I think at some point it could definitely come back.
No, and there is something to be said about that. And I will say that, like, there are certainly people in my life who we have gone through, like, we have parted ways and then come back to each other. And I think those are the people who are truly meant to, like, be in your life. And maybe they just needed a season away and then to come back. So, I mean, the world is just kind of wild. Well, not even the world, the universe is just wild in how it works like that. But in the in-between time, it sucks balls. Which leads us to our next segment, which is the ghost protocol. So what are the rules of modern ghosting, do you think, nowadays? Like,
Rules.
how long does it take before somebody's not replying that you think you've been ghosted? Or how many unanswered texts does it take before you're starting to think maybe you've been ghosted? I know you typically don't get ghosted too often, but
I don't know, probably like a week. I know that's generous. I feel like that's pretty generous.
I feel like a week is solid.
I feel like a week is good cuz I mean a lot can happen in a day or two. So maybe you might not hear from them in like a day or two, and we're all adults and life is always lifing,
Unfortunately.
but you know.
See, I'm the type of person where if you don't answer my last text, I will not double text. I refuse. I don't even double
no.
text my husband. Abso-fucking-lutely not. You get one text, and if you don't answer, I'm not answering. Because you know why? It's easier for me to ghost you.
What's the point of double texting? It's literally right there. You can just reread it.
Just open your phone.
Just open your phone. Just look at it.
It's in your hand all the time.
Right. All the time. Don't play me.
Don't play. Is it okay to ghost like after a first date? I know you're gonna say no.
Yeah. After our first date, my phone, babe, my phone was literally just dry. And then we talked for a little bit. You're still a complete stranger. And now my phone's dry again. Like, you really, it's a blip. It's a blip. It's a blip. Like, you're literally a blip. After the first date, if I text you and I'm like, hey, thanks so much for tonight. I had a great time. I hope to see you again. Let's make plans or whatever. And you don't message me back. Okay, so now we're right back to square one. Thanks.
Chalk
And-
that one off the...
Right. It's like, oh, okay.
On to the next.
On to the next.
Honestly, yeah. That's always kind of how I looked at it. I never really got too butthurt if I got ghosted.
I don't mind it. I
It
really
makes my
don't
life
mind
easier.
it. Exactly. Like, oh, okay.
Thanks for removing yourself from the equation.
Right.
Now, I will say, I think there's instances where I was going to say we, but it's really me, where we ghost when we should actually say something. And I think we should get into what those instances are a little bit. For me, it really comes down to like long-standing friendships. Those are the only times I'll ever actually chase someone, is if we've been like buds. And it takes a lot for me to consider you a bud. Like, you have to get into my inner circle. Ju knows. I hate everyone. That's just how it is.
Everyone kind of sucks right now anyways.
It's valid. So like, I don't know. I just feel like if you're gonna ghost a friend, it's worth, at least if you valued the friendship at all, it's at least worth saying something. Even if you don't like continue on with the friendship after the fact, speak up and say something, because they might not know that they did the thing, or it could be a growing moment for them. And I think that's important. But if it's guys, fuck them.
No, I think it's definitely okay to ghost after the first date. Like, if you don't feel like saying anything, you can. I still don't think it's very nice. But at the same time, like, what is there to be attached to?
That's
You know what I
valid.
mean? What is there to be upset about? What is there to, like, fight over? You literally just met them, and the first date never counts. Don't play me. The first date does not count. It doesn't count. We're both nervous. We're talking about topics that we've never talked about in our entire lives.
All right, that's false because I feel like all first dates are copy paste.
Sometimes, and then sometimes it's like weird conversations. Like I walked out of a first date and I was like, I would have never chosen that topic to talk about. That was
What an
really
odd thing to
that
say.
was that was an odd conversation, but like I'm gonna go with it because you know what I mean. Like we're here, and I'm
Might
not
as fucking
might
well.
as fucking well. Like I'm not gonna be like pause. That's unhinged.
See, but I will.
Unless it's like totally unhinged. If it's like probably, but I've never gotten to that point. Like
I've been telling boomers a lot that they're unhinged. Or like when they say some like absolute bullshit MAGA nonsense, I just look them dead in the eye and I'm like, what an odd thing to say. And it's my favorite right now.
I think if anyone does any kind of says anything MAGA-esque at any point, I think you should just ghost them in person. That's when you just kind of like
just
turn
about
around
face.
and walk away. Just fucking walk away. At that point, it's like
Facts. Because we're done. Well, so I think we need to go into a few scenarios to really like get down to when it is and isn't appropriate to speak up when you feel like you're being ghosted or if you as the ghoster are ghosting. So, let's go. If you've been online chatting with someone for a week or so, had one casual coffee date, and they've suddenly stopped replying, should you bother saying something or just go with the ghost?
baby, if you're a ghost, I'm a ghost. Or whatever she said on the notebook.
Pretty sure that's what she said. All right. I'm here for it. Ghost. A close friend of 10 years has slowly become distant over the last 6 months and now no longer responds to texts or invites.
I am showing up at your house and being like, are you dead? Dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, 100%. You got to speak up on that one. And that's exactly what I was saying earlier. Like, those are really the only times where I'm going to be like, yo. Because I'm actually worried at that point. Like, I'm worried for your safety.
I mean, unless you're like consistently posting, then I mean, regardless, I'm
Fair.
still showing up. I'm fucking pounding on that door. But, you know, the mood that I'm going to show up in is definitely different.
If you're posting.
If you've been posting and active online and just living your little life, but not responding to my texts or invites, like, what the fuck? Bang, bang, bang. And not do it again.
Fair. And honestly, I agree. So our next scenario is you've had several interviews for a job and were told you were a top candidate, but then the recruiter stops responding altogether. Speak up or accept the ghost.
My company does that shit all the time. Like, no, they don't even tell you what you did wrong or not. Like, it's just, I just accept it at that point. Shit. Like, my job's paying me well, I guess. It would be kind of cool to be like, hey, you know, you didn't get the job because A, B, C, D, and E, so that I can go back and, like, fix it. But,
Yeah.
eh,
I agree as somebody who's like halfway looking, halfway not. It's like definitely like I don't know the time, not in this economic season. Like everybody's looking for jobs right now. If people aren't getting back to me, like it's probably because there really was a more qualified candidate. So I just kind of unless I was really attached to the job and like I don't know. It also kind of depends on the interviews too.
I mean, if you reach out to them and you're like, hey, could you just like give me some tips and tricks on how I could maybe do better the next time? I feel like that's valid, but they probably rejected a lot of people. And to have to go through and email or call all 30 candidates that you rejected is a little ridiculous. And I don't blame the recruiter for not wanting to do that because honestly, babes, me neither.
Valid. All right. So, doing a group project, but then a teammate goes completely silent a week before your group presentation is due. Do you speak up or do you accept the ghost and just make sure you inform the professor that you did all the fucking work?
That one right there. The fuck?
Yep.
That's fine. You
That
do
wasn't
you,
part of the
baby.
scenario. I added it. Because fuck that guy.
Yeah, do you. Like, we're in this together, and if you decide that you don't want to do, I'm not nagging you. I'm not doing that.
But you're not getting my A.
I'm not chasing you for some. I'm not your mom.
Nope.
No, your mom should have taught you better. She should have beat you when she had the chance.
All right. So you've recently caught up with an old friend who was once important to you. After one or two good conversations, they've ghosted again. Speak up or allow it to happen.
Allow it to happen. I feel like everything's just let it go.
Just fucking let it go. You're
Make like Elsa and just let it the fuck
let
go.
it go. You know, I felt like she was going to be a lot more like on the side of, no, you got to chase them. She's making a pretty terrible angel. You're very go with the flow.
No, but I'm the angel that's gonna protect your fucking sanity, babe. Like, you're better than that. Come on. Why are you gonna sit here and chase somebody who doesn't have the decency to let you know?
Especially if you've already like done this song and dance before. That just shows me that there's no accountability and you haven't changed.
And the thing with an old friend too, like, what is it? After one or two good conversations, they ghosted. Okay, then maybe life got in the way, or that's like life sometimes. It's understandable. But if you're like constantly like, hey, you want to do this? Hey, let's do that. Hey, are you around? And they're not responding, then they probably just don't like you.
Fair enough.
Then why are you going to continue to chase after somebody who doesn't like you?
Yeah, why waste your energy?
Right.
No, that's true. All right. So you've ghosted someone you're no longer interested in. I have feelings about this. You matched with somebody, chatted a bit, and then stopped replying because you lost interest. If we're just on a dating app, if we have not exchanged numbers, we have not exchanged socials, I have every right to unmatch, block, delete. I don't give a shit. If you come at me sideways with any sort of disrespect, anything that I don't like, block, delete, good day.
I agree. I know, I agree. But the thing with me is, if we did meet after that first date and you can tell that they had a good time, or even if they didn't have a good time, I don't know, just let them know.
All right, fair.
I think that that's the angel part of me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna let you know if you guys end up actually like seeing each other and they seem excited to like see you again, and they try to plan another date with you, or even, you know what I mean? Like, you don't wanna lead anybody on. You don't wanna hurt anybody's feelings. But like, if go on that date and they seem really interested in going on another date, I think it's important for you to just be like, listen, you were really cool, but I'm just not feeling this right now. I can't do it. I'm sorry.
Again, Julianna is a nice person. Well, we also asked y'all when you thought was the pettiest reason you ever ghosted somebody, because we wanted to find out from y'all as a collective. Mostly just so I didn't feel bad about myself, because I've ghosted people for some pretty petty reasons. So we gotta say whether we think it is justified, unhinged, or too real. So one listener said he kept bending my magic cards with a really angry emoji. And honestly, them bitches are expensive, so I get it.
Don't disrespect my shit. Don't disrespect my shit. But even then, I think you still should have maybe let him know, babe. Like, hey, this isn't working out. I felt no spark.
I think it was justified, if maybe a little dramatic. Still justified, though. I would have ghosted him. When they come on too strong right off the gate, then try to divert the conversation to talk about something else and keep pressing in a sexual manner. Block, delete, good day. Justified.
Yeah, no.
Good day. Unless I really think they're cute. It depends on the vibe. I have to like it.
If you're coming on too strong, I'll just let you know. You're coming on too strong.
Whoa there, buddy.
I'm not interested in where this is going.
I think if it's making you uncomfortable, you're justified in however you want to handle that situation.
I don't want to do this right now. I have just decided that dating's not for me.
I have decided I just don't like you.
You know what? All of a sudden, he's like, I want to bend you over backwards and give it to you good. I don't even know what people say nowadays. I'll just be like, you know what? I just decided this isn't gonna work for me. Thanks. Bye. Have a nice day, sir. I don't know. You gotta fucking make it funny. Make it funny.
No, because then they try and come back because they don't think you're serious if you make it funny.
Make it funny and then block his ass.
All right, fair enough. When I know they flirt with others at the same time. Okay. I feel like that I need more context because if you've been chit-chatting and like they're talking to you like they're not talking to other people, but secretly are, and then you find out, ghost their ass. 100% justified. However, if you've just started chatting or are on a dating app, they're going to be flirting with other people. That's just how it is. We're all adults. So unless y'all haven't like had a conversation or inferred in conversation at least, monogamy, bets are off.
I just feel like our personalities just aren't lining up.
Yeah, that's a good way to handle that one. Because it's true. Like some people, and I do recognize that some people, they will match with like one person and then that's all they want to chit chat with, or like they'll be interested in one person, and that's fine. Like if you don't play the dating game, that's cool. Love that for you. But there are other people who do.
Well, I mean, the way that I kind of interpreted it is like they're doing it in front of you.
Now, if they're okay, yeah, no, 100%. If they're doing it in front of you, absolutely not.
Obviously, when we're dating around. So yeah, you have to have options. You know what I mean? You got to have your roster.
That's what I'm trying to get to. Yeah.
It's basically if you watch The Bachelor or The Bachelorette or any kind of dating show and you're upset that they're doing what you're supposed to do and yet you like those shows, then babe, you got another thing coming.
Yeah.
Like he's just picking who he's going to give the rose to. Well, you got to work harder if you want that one. You got to work for that rose, babe. Like,
Drew's over here. Break a fucking sweat.
Come on. If this, and hey, the same goes for her too, okay? If I've got a list of dudes, if I've got 5 dudes, which is never. But
yeah, okay.
If I have guys that are interested in me and they're all texting me and they're trying to, it's, the best one wins. May the best one win. That's a different story. Because then once we get into a relationship, then you drop all the other ones, you focus on that one, and that's your best friend. That's your go-to. That's your ride or die. Babies forever. You lock it in. So the way that I kind of took that was like maybe they went to a restaurant and he's flirting with her, but then the server comes over and then he's just like a little too, like you should be kind to your servers.
Be kind to service workers or I'll beat you.
But know the difference between being kind and being flirty, big boy.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. Like that's just disrespectful. That's honestly, it's disrespectful of me. It's disrespectful of my time that I put into looking cute to come out here with your dusty ass just to make some sort of conversation. Just for you to flirt with the fucking waitress? This bitch just trying to earn her bag, and she's gonna flirt back because she's trying to earn her bag. And it's not her fault, but it's gonna piss me off.
It's gonna piss me off. And then that's when you text him and you go, you know what? I just feel like our personalities are not a match.
Or just leave. Or get free food first. I don't know.
No, absolutely. No, definitely get the free food first. What? Girl, you see that date through.
You order the most expensive thing on the menu. Do not offer to share.
You got to see it through, my girl.
I can't say I've ever actually walked out on a date now that I think of it. I think I've always been too interested. I just love drama.
I got to see it through. I knew what's going to happen. Like, dude, you're crazy. You're flirting with the waitress. Who else are you going to flirt with? Let's see.
Let's see where this goes.
Let's see where this goes. This is crazy. I'm like right here. Wild.
So our next listener said, I'm also one where I don't need the constant conversation all day, every day. Like it takes 2 seconds to say, hey, I'm busy, but can we talk later and hope you have a good day. But if you sit there and blow up my phone while I'm trying to do something or I'm busy at work, you're gone. fucking justified.
Even then, I don't know.
If you're blowing up my phone and you know I'm busy,
Hey, this just isn't gonna work for me. I'm sorry, but I can't do this.
I feel like this listener has very good communication skills and would have already said, I am busy, and this other individual is crossing the boundary.
Yeah, and then you just gotta let them know, hey, I really don't feel like we are on the same page. Hey, I really like the text messages are cool and everything, but I'm busy throughout the day. What could we do? Maybe like a phone call at the end of the day? I love that.
I do actually love phone calls.
I love phone calls. Call me at the end of the day and tell me about your day. Don't be blowing up my phone all day with, how's your day? Good? How's your day? Good?
Yeah, stop making small talk with me throughout the day.
No, I'm busy. I'm at work and I want to focus on work. I don't want to focus on you. I'm busy. Get the fuck off my phone. I'm overstimulated. But if, I feel like at the end of the day as well, you can have more of a conversation where you're like, okay, let me relax. Let me unload. Oh my gosh, I had the craziest shit happen to me today, and then go into a story and then you start talking about your personality, the things that you like, the things that you don't like, and then it becomes like an hour, 2 hour phone call. Like,
Yeah, and it's like a nice little like phone date versus you blowing up my phone all day and we're just talking about the color of the sky.
no, thank you.
No, thank you.
And even then, it's like, hey, dude, you're really cool, but I think my lifestyle is just a little too busy for dating right now.
I still vote ghost him. The next listener. If I see you treating people horribly, then you will definitely lose access to me, period. And I'm here for it. That is justified. If you treat people badly, I don't need my fucking time, because if you're going to treat people the way you treat people, I'm going to treat people the way you treat people. You won't get tasty old medicine.
I don't know. If you're an asshole to people, I have no problem just shooting you a text and being like, you're kind of a dick to people. Like, you're an asshole. She did not deserve that in any way, shape, or form. She's just doing her job. And I promise you that if she was the one who made the rules or could change anything, she probably would be sitting on her fucking private island, sipping a fucking pina colada instead of dealing with your dusty, crusty ass, bro. Like, come on.
And can confirm, Julianna is in fact bold enough to tell anyone they're being an asshole. She tells me that constantly.
Like, hey, you're kind of a dick, and I don't want to continue this.
Fair enough.
Why not? What is he gonna do? Cuss at you over the phone? Send you mean text messages? Block. There. Block, block, block. You can go fight with your mama.
All right. I still vote block his ass. Immediately. I wouldn't even waste my breath.
Tell it like it is.
Anyone who asks for nudes immediately gets ghosted immediately.
No. I just text.
I used to send them bitches out like they were candy. If you hit me up and your opening line was, "Can I see your titties?" I was showing them so quickly.
Oh my gosh. I really love the one where the girls will send like attachment. Like they like write it out and then they're like, I can't open it. Like, I don't know. I'd want to do something like that. Or I would just be like, haha, no.
So, I mean, again, if it makes you uncomfortable, do what you have to do to feel comfortable. I, however, don't see that as a ghosting offense, but I'm also a whore.
I enjoy confrontation, I think.
You
Fight me. What? What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
So spicy.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Hello, police? What are you going to do?
All right. What's the next one? If they have the biggest ego by saying, "Oh, you've never had someone like me before."
You've never had someone like me, bitch.
Bitch. Let
Come
me
on.
fucking show you some crazy shit. Understandably, that's justified in ghosting. However, I have had that said to me, and I have had to make it a game. And it got weird. Weird.
Yeah, no, you take it far, and then once it goes too far, then you just block them.
Yeah, actually, I've done that too.
I'm kind of like, fuck with them and then ghost them.
But again, I make it a game. It's just weird. All right. I ghosted a guy for sticking his tongue in my ear during sex. Didn't even ask. Justified. Justified. No wet willies. That's fucking gross.
I've noticed that like guys really like that. It's weird. I hate that shit.
Guys are just weird.
I've had more guys ask me to do that than like
It done to you.
yeah.
Well, I mean,
And I'm
it's...
like, is it clean?
Why?
Do you like Q-tip? Cuz I might. Like, I mean, if that's what you're into, then okay, but please don't do it to me. It's weird. I don't like it.
If you...
I have too many piercings for that shit.
Yeah.
Then I hear my piercing in your teeth. Like, no, don't do that. I hear the like, stop.
It makes my tism itch. I don't like it.
I don't like
Thinking about
it.
it's making me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So we're moving on.
Anyways, next one.
Actually, so
That
that
was
was the rest of our submissions for this week. Thank you all to everyone who participated. I hope we didn't embarrass you too much. Please keep in mind that everything we said is meant in jest. 99.999% of it. However, I still vote ghost anybody who makes you feel uncomfortable. Do what you got to do to feel comfortable. Protect your peace. Now,
100.
adulting wins and fails. I actually had a pretty good win. So I was mentally stable enough to realize that I needed a medication adjustment when I was losing my shit. So, pat on the back to me. However, I also almost wound up in the hospital because I had said medication change and then accidentally overdosed on energy drinks and my heart rate would not come the fuck down. Zago was pissed.
Yeah, that's a fail.
So that was my fail.
Yeah. I don't think I have any wins or fails. Do I have any wins or fails? I switched over my closet from the winter clothes to the summer clothes.
The fact that you even do that in general is a win because I'm a gremlin and I refuse to do that. I don't separate my clothes by season. That's too much fucking work.
This is the first time I'm doing it, and I'm just trying to see how it's going to go. So I'm hoping that I wear more fun stuff this summer.
Okay, that's valid.
Like if I can see it, like if it's, I don't know, if it's not like tucked away somewhere. I also have a very small apartment.
You also have a lot of clothes.
I have a lot of clothes.
Like a lot. I can't talk shit. I have a whole extra room for my clothes. But that's a win.
That's
I
a
vote.
win.
Yeah.
I think that's a win.
Cool.
I don't think I've failed yet.
No.
I mean, I'm still single. Is that considered? Not really.
No.
My peace.
You've been
I have peace in
protecting
my
your
life.
peace.
I'm loving life right now. I have a good time. I'm having a good time.
Drew's just over here winning at life, and I love it for
I'm just
her.
vibing.
Makes me so happy. So, that being said, this week in Millennial history. So on May 16th of 2000, NSYNC's It's Gonna Be Me hit the top charts of TRL. And before we started before we started recording, I had to look up what TRL was because Tony looked up these fun facts. Zaga looked up these fun facts. And I grew up in a cult, so I had no idea what TRL is. She also didn't know what it was, and she's older than me and didn't grow up in a cult, so I didn't feel so bad. Also, if anybody was wondering, it's the MTV show where the music's. That's what I got from that.
It was like they like interviewed artists and like they played their music videos, and I do sort of remember it, but I was like, is it that? I had to look it up. I was like, is it? Yeah, that was it. I remember the microphone, the people outside the window with the signs.
So this week in Millennial history, the aim away messages were our original ghosting strategy. Remember, you just turned that shit to away and just nobody would talk to you. It was great.
And then the messages would also include like whoever you were dating at the time. It would be like, away from the computer doing blah, blah, blah. And then at the very bottom, you'd be like, I love you, so and so. And then you'd have like the date you guys started dating. And it was like all different colors. I don't know. That was me.
There are some things I'm happy I missed out on.
Yeah, you should.
So this week in Millennial history, MSN Messenger instituted their scene feature and started betraying everyone. So then everybody would know when you left them on red. And honestly, I'm not even upset about that. I leave people on red all the fucking time. 95% of the time, it is not on purpose. It is because I forgot.
They probably pioneered it. They probably started it, and now we still do it.
Well, yeah, it's on
I
everything.
feel like it's just normal.
Yeah,
That's just normal. You leave people on red all the time.
it's true. Blocking someone on MySpace was called the permanent friendship breakup. And honestly, I didn't have a MySpace, so that's not applicable to me.
I never blocked anybody on MySpace, but we did move around our top friends based on who you like the most. Like, your friends were in a ranking. I feel like was Zaga speaking about this at some point? Yes. Yeah, he's right. Yeah, it was based on your position in the friend group.
I feel like I would have been so petty.
I, after a while, felt so much pressure from it, and I just loved my friends so much that I just got rid of my top 8. And I was like, no, it just said see friends. I was like, that's good.
Facebook
good.
had that feature for a hot minute where you had to, like, you could rank, not like rank necessarily, but like you could kind of arrange your friends so that when somebody looked at your profile, they saw your besties first. So, like, I had you and like a couple other friends when people looked at it, and then right underneath it, you had your selected pictures.
I don't remember that, but I know that Facebook, when it first started or whatever, it did take a few of like MySpace's little things.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. That brings us to the conclusion of this week's episode. Thank you so much for joining all of us. We appreciate your time, and thank you so much for hanging out with me while I come back for my debut of this season. So just remember as you go through the next week that if somebody ghosts you, it might not be personal. Some of us are just hiding under a hoodie and are dealing with all the emotional trauma.
Or maybe they just suck. But either way, you're glowing, babes. Keep it pushing. On to the next.
Next week, join us for Oops, All Nostalgia, things millennials miss that weren't even that great. Like mall food courts, Tamagotchis. Okay, first of all, Tamagotchis are cool as
Tamagotchis.
shit.
Who put that on there?
Zaga.
I loved my Tamagotchi. Granted, my parents hated my Tamagotchis because I'd lose it around the house and then it'd start beeping and then my parents would have to find it and like feed it.
I feel like I would have beat your ass as a child.
Yeah. They're like, I fed your duck. Take it back. I'm like, oh, thanks. Oh my gosh.
All right, everyone. That's it for us this week. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok at Adulthood Pending and rate us 5 stars if you've been ghosted or you've done the ghosting this year. Again, thank you so much for listening. We'll talk to y'all next time. Peace.
Bye.
Goodbye.